everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies, featuring the Fallout official Vault Dwellers Cookbook. The Mirelurk Queen Steak, aka crab stuffed salmon, was actually pretty good last week, so now we're on to the dessert, berry crumble, aka mutfruit crumble. First up, let's tell the story. A crumble is one of the best desserts you can have in your repertoire. It provides a wonderful texture and tart taste with half the work of a pie, leaving you more time to enjoy the many amenities of your vault. Priscilla Pensky of Vault 81 has done some amazing work with mutfruit as she continues to scientifically improve the flavor and texture. With a bit of experimenting, I was able to recreate this crumble using her fruit. I just had to trade her for a bag of fertilizer. Well, we'll find out how easy this recipe is to make. The ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's move in that direction. You'll hear the oven chirping in the background. I've got that preheating to 375 right now. As you can guess by the rough split, we've got something of a two-part recipe here. So first up for the filling, we need 2 cups of blueberries and blackberries. A tablespoon of lemon zest, we'll be using a little bit more than that. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Half a cup of granulated sugar and of honey. A teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Another teaspoon of salt. And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. As for the topping, we'll be using a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of rolled oats, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, a teaspoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, another half teaspoon of salt, and 5 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter. With the ingredients out of the way, let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. The oven's currently preheating to 375, so you might hear that chirping in the background for us. Anyway, first we're going to make the filling. So we're going to start by combining the filling ingredients in a medium bowl and mixing well. We'll add everything in a slightly different order than is called for, just to make getting the ingredients in a little bit easier. So first up, we will start with the blueberries. And then the blackberries. Next, we're going to go for the lemon zest, or a little more than a tablespoon of lemon zest. The oven just came up to temperature. Here's where we're going to get a little bit creative with the order. I'm going to go with the 2 tablespoons of cornstarch before I put in the lemon juice. Mostly so the dry ingredient comes out a little bit cleaner. A little bit more easily, I should probably say. Cornstarch can go back up. Alright, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice now. That can go to the dishes. Lemon juice can go back in the fridge. Alright, half a cup of granulated sugar. That can go back up as well. Then half a cup of honey, and we'll do the same thing that we did last time we needed honey. We'll put it in the fridge for about 15 seconds just to loosen it up a little bit. I'll put both in there, because I'm sure in my open container of honey, I'm not going to have enough. I might be wrong on that, but I doubt it. We'll find out soon enough, though. While we're waiting for that, we'll get the teaspoon of... Actually, that's going to be coming out here, right there. I forget 15 seconds is not that long. Clearly not long enough to get the spices out, but anyway. Yeah, about what I thought. I didn't have enough honey in there, in the open container. So we'll go to the new container for the rest of the honey that we... Oh boy, I forgot there's a wrapping on here, which I don't think... I'm going to put the new one in for another 15 seconds, because I forgot there was a... Because I don't think any of the heat got to the honey, so I'm going to try to loosen that up a little bit more. I'll also get a spatula ready, because I'm almost certain I'm going to need to scrape the honey out of the half-cup container by the time I get it all poured in. Okay. Whoa. But at any rate, now I definitely have enough honey in there. Scrape out as much of the honey as we can get. Hopefully this will stir easily as well. But I'm far from sure of that, with the honey being as it is. Anyway, I think that's as much as we're going to get out of there. So the honey can go back up. And then we need a teaspoon of nutmeg and of salt. So here's the nutmeg. And the salt, which is probably going to be just enough in here maybe a trifle short, but as I've got to... I think we got just enough in there. Once I get a little bit creative with shaking everything out. And I will need the teaspoon for the topping as well, so I'll bring the teaspoon over there, as I will do with the salt. And now we'll mix all of this together. And I think I was right to be more than a little paranoid about how the honey was going to mix up. Well, it seems to be working fine. I can grab another spatula though. And scrape the side of the bowl so I make sure I can incorporate everything. Okay. Alright, I think we got everything in there, so now we're going to scoop that into two 5-inch ramekins. Which I've got 2 of right here. So we'll scoop these in. We'll scoop the filling into these 2. Okay. I have a feeling I'm going to wish these ramekins were quite a bit deeper, but we'll find out soon enough. Okay. Alright, so there's the filling into the two 5-inch ramekins. Now let's bring another medium bowl in shot. We're going to take another medium bowl and we're going to start off by combining most of the dry ingredients to make the topping. So we're going to take our flour first. We need a 1/4 cup of the flour. There's our 1/4 cup of flour. Flour can go back up. Half a cup of the rolled oats. Okay, right. It's been a while since I've had to open a container of oats. So we'll just pull that open. Half a cup of that, so I've got my 1/4 cup here, which means 2 of these will be plenty. So 1, 2. Those can go back up as well. I'm going to go kill the light by the living room since I don't need it for the time being. Okay, we just put the oats in. Now we want the 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar is right here. Let me check that I don't need the 1/4 cup for anything else, but I don't think I do, so that can head toward the dishes. I do not, it's all spices from here. Okay, so that can go back up. Now we want the aforementioned spices. First up, we want the 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. That's a little bit more than 1/2 teaspoon, but sometimes it can be hard to control these spice amounts. Teaspoon each of coriander and cinnamon. So I've got the coriander and the cinnamon both right here. Definitely does have a floury smell to it. And the cinnamon. And another 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which I will need to open that, of course, brand new. Okay. And I believe that's everything I need before I add the butter in. Yes. So now I want to combine this. Just get it mixed up somewhat. See if I can break up some of these clumps of brown sugar that are forming. I might actually be fine. Like I said, I was looking at those ramekins, wondering if they were going to be deep enough with this topping, but this actually looks like it's going to make a lot less topping than I was expecting it to. So I should be fine, especially once I put the butter in, which is what we're going to be doing now. So we're going to take our cubed butter and add that in. And then with my hands, I want to combine this until it resembles coarse meal. So we'll get my hands in here. Definitely getting a floury whiff of it probably from the coriander, I would think. Okay. I think we're pretty much good there. So I'll give my hands a quick wash. And then we'll bring the ramekins with the filling back in shot. Now we want to cover the ramekins with the crumble topping. And this is probably not going to come out as even as I would have liked it to, but no help for that, I don't think. Spread that out just a little bit. And I'll start on this one. Okay. You put a little bit more in here. Okay. Normally we'd bake both of these, but I'm only going to bake one right now because if this turns out to be really good, I can use the other one. If this turns out to be good, I can use the other one as dessert for tonight's dinner. So I'm actually going to cover the other one in tin foil. I'm going to go with this one I'm going to bake. So this one I'm going to cover in tin foil, and I'll throw that in the fridge until I'm ready to bake it later. Like I said, depending on how the taste test on the first one turns out. So now we're going to put this in the oven at 375. I'll move the camera out of the way. For 45 to 55 minutes until the crumble is golden brown. So I'll put that in the oven. Easy does it. I was going to say preferably without burning my hand. I'll set the timer for 55 minutes. And we'll come back in about an hour to take a look at how that's coming out. Here's our first look at the crumble as it's coming out of the oven. The fact that it overflowed is basically to be expected. As far as the collapse goes, probably just the result of having it out of the oven quickly and giving it a little bit of time to cool, which I'll go ahead and kill the microwave as that's where I was keeping my kitchen timer. Anyway, we're going to take this over to my desk now for the taste test. I've got the crumble right here. As you can see, I did put a plate under it because it was actually sticky on the kitchen counter in there. And that's going to be already a pain in the neck to clean up, and I didn't want the same sticky problem over here at my desk because I ended up getting a couple of my oven mitts and my pot holders a bit sticky, so those are going in the laundry to clean up as well. But let's give this a taste and see what I think of it. Whoa. A little bit warm as it did just come out of the oven, which is part of the reason why they suggest pairing it with ice cream. But let's give this a taste. Oh. This is tasting really good, and when I bake the second serving of berry crumble later to be dessert, I'm definitely going to give it a lot more time to set before I dig into it. But I do like the taste of it. It's very liquidy. I'll pin a comment to this video of what I think of it after I have a chance to do the second taste test and let it set. But that's another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. Next week we're making the drink, as we've got 5 Saturdays in the month, Deezer's Lemonade. As for the games, the 1991 playoffs and payoff pitch baseball will take center stage this weekend. First up, we've got the Los Angeles Dodgers traveling to Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta to take on the Braves in Game 4 of their NLDS. LA leads that series 2-1 and can land the knockout blow. Later this afternoon, the Kansas City Royals are hosting the Toronto Blue Jays at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals lead that series 2-1 and can land their knockout blow. As for tomorrow, this will be a morning upload, as I have decided that I'm going to bench APA football from the schedule. But the Pittsburgh Pirates will be back in Shea Stadium to play the New York Mets. The Pirates lead their National League Division Series 2-1. As for Wednesday next week, we'll be playing Zero Leader from DVG. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.